Moscow has lashed out at Bulgaria's latest moves, accusing Sofia of bowing to Western pressure and turning into what it calls a pre-frontal state of NATO and the European Union. The reaction comes after Sofia passed a law imposing external management over Russian oil giant Lukoil's assets and signing a major arms deal with Germany's Rheinmetall. Under the new legislation, a state-appointed administrator will take full control of Lukoil Neftochim Burgas, sidelining shareholders and management. Opposition MPs have denounced the move as nationalization and a corporate raid, while President Rumen Radev warned the refinery needs a reliable owner who can develop it, recalling the collapse of Bulgaria'S after state takeover. At the same time, Bulgaria has partnered with Rheinmetall to build a gunpowder and ammunition plant in Sopot, capable of producing up to 100,000 artillery shells annually. Sofia calls it a boost to Europe's defense base. Moscow calls it a dangerous step toward militarization.
We drew attention to it. On October 28th, in Sofia, in the presence of the highest political leadership of Bulgaria, a treaty was signed between the state military-industrial enterprise Vazovsky Machinery Plant in Sopot and the German concern Rheinmetall on the construction of a large gunpowder and ammunition plant on Bulgarian territory. This is just another action to transfer European economies to the military rails.
Zakharova accused Brussels of pushing member states toward confrontation with Moscow, saying EU leaders are using militarization to cover up their domestic policy failures.
Ursula von der Leyen literally demanded to increase military spending and expand production for the confrontation with Russia, which has long turned into an obsessive idea, a mania of Euro bureaucrats. This is a convenient way to distract attention from the failed policy of Brussels and its inability to solve systemic problems at home.
She warned that ordinary Bulgarians are being drawn into a conflict not of their making, saying the West is rewriting history and manipulating public opinion to justify turning the country into a NATO stronghold.
Ordinary Bulgarians, despite the policy of the authorities, in most cases soberly assess the situation and have no desire to turn their country into some kind of pre-frontal state. Patriotic forces in Bulgaria protest against the placement of new weapons of war, since the threat of involvement in the conflict with Russia is growing significantly.
Russia views Bulgaria's twin moves, the Lukoil takeover and the Rheinmetall defense venture, as part of a Western strategy to weaken Moscow's economic foothold and entrench NATO influence in Eastern Europe. For Moscow, Bulgaria has become a test case of Europe's shift toward what it calls managed militarization, a continent increasingly run from Brussels and Washington, where national sovereignty is replaced by alliance obedience.